There are so many accessories and gadgets that you can buy for your RV.
But what do you really need? We're Kalyn and Joseph, and we've been full-time RVing for almost 6 years. And for the majority of that, we've been pinching pennies.
I'm just so worried about the price of this.
Which means we've lived without things like Starlink, which we just bought last year.
We got internet!
A generator, and we've only had that for 2 years, and an RV GPS. And we still don't have one.
Oh wait, this is telling you to turn right. Do
Yes.
not turn right.
Do not turn right.
Turn straight.
Turn.
I mean, keep going straight.
So we understand what bare bones RV living is really like. So today we're sharing our top 10 RV essentials that you absolutely need to get before starting out life on the road.
And we're starting with something that Joseph is obsessed with.
This video is brought to you in partnership with eTrailer.
Now, if there's one thing that Joseph cannot stand, it is being unlevel. How level are we?
I'm checking.
In fact, at the beginning of RV life, a 1/4 inch really ticked him off. He's gotten a little bit better. I think he's up to like a 1/2 inch leeway is okay. But we started out with some Lego blocks. You may have seen them to help us level. They were bright orange, right in your face. And so I thought, hey, let's try some nice gray ones. And these were on Amazon and they were a sale for Prime Day. And now I know why, because, well, they were junk the first time we tried them.
I think these are too cheap. Did you see this?
Oh, wow.
Look what happened already. And over here, it's all bowed in.
Yep. I've been wanting to try these Anderson leveler wheel chuck combos for a long time, and then a kind viewer said, hey, what's your address, and sent them to me, and when they arrived I was like, oh, these are awesome. So here's what they do. You stick them behind your tire, you roll your tire up onto it, and as you can see, it raises it up to 4 inches, and then once you get to the spot you need to be, just pop this in the other side and your tire rests in the center and it becomes a wheel chock as well. We've been using them for a couple months. I have to say, they're fantastic. And speaking of wheel chocks, we've had plenty of disasters with the RV. We've gone down random roads we have no business going down.
Oh my word. Look at how steep that is.
But one thing we have not had happen is the RV has not rolled away, and that is because we are always chalking our tires. You should chalk off at least 1 full axle, so tires on both sides. I generally try to chalk off as much as I possibly can, and there's so many different, like the ones I showed you, those work as a wheel chalk. You can get X chalks that you stick between your tires. We used those for a while, and now I'm just using these triangle rubber pieces that you can pick up from eTrailer, and you can stick them under, again, both tires before you unhitch from the truck so that you make sure your RV is not going to go bye-bye down the hill.
You can buy actually most of these items on eTrailer, and we worked with eTrailer to create a storefront of a lot of these recommended products. You can't go get those cheap Legos on there though. We're not linking to those.
So no matter which option you choose, you definitely need to have wheel chocks. And unless you're some sort of monster, you also need leveling blocks because you must level your RV. Now the blocks are only gonna help you get to level. They're not gonna actually help you see what level is. And so for that, this one, Kalyn and I argued a little bit as to whether or not this was an actual necessity, because it is a gadget, it is a little bit more expensive, but it makes leveling so much easier that if you don't have any sort of an auto leveling system, I think it's a must.
I don't think we argued about this. We just had a discussion on what should be included.
So of course, what I am talking about is Level Mate.
We are 1.5 inches off.
It is a lifesaver to me. Even though Kalyn and I have had a little bit of a discussion about it, it just makes life so much easier. Now, it is not an automated system. It's not push a button and the RV automatically comes up to where it's supposed to be. But it does tell you how many inches you are off left to right, how many inches you are off front to back. So whenever you watch us in the videos and we're backing up and Kalyn's guiding me in and I'm looking at my phone, I'm looking to see how much higher I have to go, and Kalyn is making sure I'm on the leveling blocks appropriately.
Keep going. Good.
Then we stop once we get leveled right to left.
How level are we?
It says we're level.
We're level?
Does it look level? Unhitch and level off front to back, and it makes life so much easier. Drop it in the comments, let us know, let Kalyn know how absolutely necessary this item is.
Here's the thing though, like you can, yes, it's a pain, but you could manually
You can.
level your RV
You
with like
can-
an actual
Yep.
leveler.
And ours actually comes with levels stuck to the outside of the RV.
They don't work.
But what I quickly realized is that those levels were out of level, so it didn't really work.
But so that's why I'm saying it's not a necessity, but he was insistent
I was.
that we add this.
I think this is the only gadget we have on the list, but
that we disagree on.
It's a lifesaver.
So you do have to buy this on Amazon. It's about $119 and it comes with a transponder, and then you download the app, and I will give it to him. It is convenient. Good?
0, 0, 0s all the way across. Let's get the wheel chocks in.
This next one, Joseph really likes to, and I guess I like it. Whoa, that was, I squeaked. Did you hear me squeak? This next one, Joseph really likes to, and I guess I do as well, because it helps the RV be stable. And he likes to jiggle his leg a lot when he's working.
This is very fifth wheel specific, and that is the tripod for the King Box, or they make them for goosenecks as well. It doesn't bear any of the weight of the RV. Literally all you're doing is providing stability. The weight of the RV, the foundation, is the tires and the front jacks. That's what all the weight is on, but the back jacks are stabilizers, and then this right here adds so much stability. If you take this out, you're fine. There's a lot of times this is too high or too low that it won't fit under, but it really does stop the sway, especially the side-to-side sway of the RV when, you know, you have a dog running back and forth with the zoomies.
I think we should test this.
We wanna
You
test
wanna
the theory?
test it and see what it, well, no, keep it on and go up and
Okay.
like hop around.
All right,
And then we'll see what it looks like with it off.
you should put it on a tripod though, so it takes out your motion,
Oh, my,
your hand motion. So stick it on a tripod, stick it right here, and then I'll go shake
stick
the
the
RV.
camera on the tripod.
That's what I mean.
Okay,
That tripod.
that tripod, not that tripod.
Should we have the zoomies? So how is that?
It was shaking just a little bit, but it wasn't bad.
Yep, and I could feel it shaking in the RV.
Were you just in the living room or the bedroom?
But I was running from side to side in the bedroom and then front to back. So we'll take this out.
You didn't film our bedroom though, right? Because we kind of just threw everything in the bedroom this morning before we filmed, so that in case we took you inside, you at least wouldn't see all the mess. All right, so now we're gonna test this without the tripod.
We are ready for round 2. Let's watch the RV sway. How sway was it?
That was pretty bad.
The fan things in here, the pull chains on the fan were going back and forth. Trin was looking at me like, what is going on?
Hey, Trin, you wanna say hi? Hi to the peoples who love you. You'll get no argument from me. That one is definitely a necessity. Next one, I think is in here. This thing.
Do you know what you got? Do you know what you're holding?
I'm not stupid. Yes, this is a surge protector.
She got it right.
Why do you sound so surprised?
I thought you might be jumping ahead to the next one and thinking that it's what's next on our list.
You can finish this yourself.
So you should get yourself a surge protector for 2 reasons. Number 1, obviously, if there's some sort of power surge that happens at any campground you're hooked up at, this should help protect your RV from electrical damage. Secondly, get yourself a surge protector that has some sort of a monitoring system on it that will tell you whether or not there are problems with the electrical outlet that you are plugging into. We got 5 green lights, we're good to go, because you'd be amazed at how many campgrounds are wired by somebody like me who don't know what they're doing. So when you plug this in, these light up and tell you whether or not a neutral is switched or if there's an open ground or something like that. And so you plug it in, turn it on before you plug in your RV, see how the wiring is, and then if you know everything's safe, you turn it back off, plug in your RV, turn it on, and you are good to go. Would you have been able to cover all that, Miss Power Person? I'm getting the silent treatment, ladies and gentlemen. You gonna grab what's next?
This next one is, wait, is this the right thing?
It's one of them.
Aren't they dog bones?
There you go.
Kind of like dog bone adapters? Yes. So I don't know whether they're 50 to 30s or 30s to 50s or 20s to 65. I know that doesn't exist, but this is so you don't have to pay full price for 50 amp hookups, because sometimes those are like $5 to $10 a night more, and it does add up. And so if you get one of these adapters, you can actually stay in like a 20 or 30 amp and actually like change it, use one of these to change it to 50 amp. Did I explain it correctly? What did I miss?
You got it 100% correct.
Okay, thank you.
There's just a quick caveat, and that is if you have a rig that has 2 air conditioners, or you're gonna be running a bunch of power, like multiple heavy draw things at the same time, then you just need to be careful, because if you're plugged into a 20 amp, you're not gonna be able to run a curling iron and the microwave at the same time, or the air conditioner might not work at all on a 20 amp. So
Gotcha.
in our situation, we're generally using it to charge up batteries, so we can legit hook into anything. And if you're just gonna run one air conditioner and maybe a microwave, you're gonna be fine plugging into a 30 amp hookup.
So I was right for my situation.
You are 100% correct. I just needed to add more info. One more quick thing about the dog bones is this 20 amp to 50 amp. This is what I use to be able to charge from our generator, because we just have a very small generator. It literally just has these outlets. So this lets me plug in and charge the batteries up with this. The next one is kind of an obvious one, but I have been surprised when I've gotten to dump stations and seen somebody renting an RV or buying an RV for the first time. They don't know what they need when it comes to sewer hookups. So you should always make sure you have this connection, which allows you to connect to dump stations or sewer setups at various RV parks. And you need to get not one, but at least 2 of these hoses. And I really recommend doing your research on these. Make sure you get solid brands, because we've gotten some cheapo brands before, and it's no fun when these spring leaks. Looks like it's time to replace that hose. And the reason I recommend having 2 of these hoses is because not all RVs are the same and not all RV parks are the same. Sometimes the valve is halfway up the RV, sometimes it's all the way at the back.
We're not quite sure if the sewer is gonna reach.
We've been at an RV park before where we've seen RVs literally have 4 hoses stretched out so that they can make it from their dump valve all the way to the hole in the ground that they're dumping to. So 2 should get you through most RV parks, 3 if you want to play it really safe. Now there's one other thing I want to suggest you buy. Maybe it's not a necessity, but I love it. This is a Valterra valve that we stuck on the end of our drain valve, drain pipe, whatever you want to call it. It simply clips on. We actually glued it in place, and it's just an extra safety, because you can have that cap on there, and if that cap pops off and a valve is open, water's going to go everywhere. This not only gives you 1 level extra of safety, but it also allows you to connect your gray tanks. A lot of RVs have 2 gray tanks and they're not connected. So you have gray tank capacity of like 80 gallons, but it's 2 40-gallon tanks, which means if you're doing a lot of dishes, not taking a lot of showers, you can overfill that one gray tank and the other one is mostly empty. So I keep that Valterra valve closed, then I open the 2 gray tanks, they're filling that pipe and actually equalizing out. So I have a true 80 gallons of gray tank storage. Now you do need to be careful. Make sure your drain pipe is set up to hold that weight long term, especially if you're gonna travel to a dump station with the extra water in there. But I've had no issues with it. We do this all the time when we're boondocking. I just remembered the last benefit of the Valterra valve, and that is if you are in the middle of like dumping something and there's a problem, poop starts coming out, your hose breaks, you know, just some sort of catastrophe. If you shut it off here, you still have that entire hose worth of stuff that's gonna come out. With that Valterra valve, you can just jump up, shut it off, and you've stopped it right at the source instantly.
Our go-to website for RV parts and accessories is eTrailer, and it was that way even before they started partnering with our channel. We love that their customer service is amazing, that they have practically anything that you need to repair your rig or upgrade it or outfit it in a certain way to get started with RV life and to continue RV life. And there's also super knowledgeable staff on hand. They can answer any questions, like we are talking about upgrading our Kingpin and we were going in a certain direction and we talked with them and they're like, no, that's not gonna work for the fifth wheel that you have. And we wouldn't have known that otherwise if we didn't talk to eTrailer and we just bought it off another website. So I'm gonna leave a link in the description below to our storefront that has many of these products that we're talking about today. And I'll also leave a QR code up here to that as well, in case you're watching on a TV. But we are so grateful to eTrailer for continuing to partner with us on this channel and so that we can share their awesome stuff. You just
done?
taking a break over here?
I am. You done?
Yes.
All right, we've got 6 down, 4 to go.
So number 7 is in our truck.
7, we have had a version of this for all 6 years of RV life, and that is a tire inflator. We had a compressor for the first like 3 or 4 years, then we got rid of that and got a cheap tire inflator, and now we have this amazing Viair air compressor from eTrailer, and it is amazing. Now, it is super important that you have these on the road because you never know when you're gonna pick up a nail or something like that, and you just need to get enough air in your tire to get off the highway, get to a local shop. I also recommend picking yourself up some tire plugs. They don't recommend them for 10, 12 ply tires, but sometimes they will get you where you need to go. You don't wanna run them long term, but plug the tire and get to a shop. It's just one of those things that's gonna give you a lot of peace of mind, especially if you don't have a second vehicle. So if you get a flat on your truck while you're towing, you're just kind of stuck there on the side of the road.
And I know we mentioned this in the video that we actually used the new inflator for the first time, but you can't chintz out on these because 1, they're gonna break really quickly, and number 2, they're gonna take forever to like pump up your tire.
A lot of the tire inflators at Walmart and things like that are designed for car tires that are like 50, 60 pounds, and even if they say rated to like 110 PSI, they just don't run efficiently at that PSI level, and they just start breaking down so much quicker. And we went through 2 from the big blue box store, and this one has just performed flawlessly.
It's gonna last us a long time.
For number 8, we're gonna stay right here at the truck, and we're gonna still talk about tires because a TPMS sensor, which is a tire pressure TP pressure.
Tire pressure
and
monitoring system.
TPMS, that's what it stands for. But don't chintz out on this. We bought a really cheap one, and for a while, I thought it was working okay, but really it was not updating at all. We would start, you'd be down the road 15 minutes before one tire would show up, and then another 15 minutes, another tire would show up, and it would be giving me old data because it did not have a repeater. So it was trying to send Bluetooth signal from the tires about 33 feet up to the cab of the truck, and it just wasn't making it. We got this more expensive system, and it comes with a Bluetooth repeater. And as soon as I turn this thing on, the second I start moving, boom, tires start showing up, and it's constantly updating me. In fact, it's updating me right now with the tire pressure, 77 PSI in that back left tire, and we're not even moving. And it's giving me the temperature too, giving the temperature of all 4 tires as we go. You can hook your truck tires up to it. You can have your spare hooked up to it. You can put, I think, like 14 tires on this that it would successfully monitor.
The reason why you want a TPMS system, and even like our crappy one, even though it just like wasn't working in the last couple of years and we really needed this new one, it saved us from some major tire blowouts, because what it does is it starts beeping annoyingly saying that your tire pressure is lowering rather quickly, and it will show you that, and you can kind of get off the side of the road really quickly before it blows and just causes even more damage.
This actually happened to us in Alaska on our way from McCarthy down to Valdez. Is that where we went? Valdez was next. And we were headed tooling down the road, and all of a sudden it started beeping at us, and I was at 50 some pounds in the tire that was supposed to be at 80 pounds. So we pulled off. We used our crappy tire inflator that we had at the time, pumped it up, and it got us the rest of the way to Valdez, where we were able to get the tire repaired.
But the reason why we're not using that crappy one anymore is because it just kept beeping. Like it wasn't even going down to, I don't know, 70, and it just was like beep, 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 and yeah, I was over it.
Okay, number 9. This one's a little embarrassing, guys, because I don't think I have the appropriate necessity to show you on this one, but you should have some sort of a basic toolkit. I have really struggled with organization, so every guy just prepare to cringe so badly.
How bad is it?
So this is my ratchet set.
Oh goodness.
As you can imagine, when I need to find a socket, it's very difficult. So this is my wrench set and pliers. Once again, all the guys, I hear them pounding the keyboard in fury right now, and I completely understand. This is a 2025 project of mine. And then a screwdriver set with some Allen wrenches, and things like that. And I highly recommend, again, we had another, like, y'all have been incredibly kind to us, especially through last year as we were working on saving toward Alaska, people sending us some things here and there. We had a kind viewer who sent me this DeWalt brushless impact. It has come so much in handy in speeding up some projects. So highly recommend things like that as well. Get yourself a basic toolkit because you're gonna encounter things along the way. Screws are gonna come loose, bolts are gonna come loose, and you just wanna have that peace of mind of you can have the tool and fix it. Now the problem is, you can't have all the tools because you live in a mobile house and all the tools weigh a lot. So if you have like a Class A or something like that where weight is less of a problem, you can have a lot more stuff. For us, we have to think about weight, so I have to try to keep it pretty basic, but I do have to organize it better.
Here's what I want to know, and I know all the guys out there are going to be like, you just don't get it. But why can't they have like one tool that does a lot of different things? Why, when you start a new project, you always have to buy like another tool that does one thing? Let's be efficient. Why are you laughing?
1 second. 1 second. Hold on, guys.
No.
I got your back, guys.
No. Do not go in my makeup collection.
I got your back.
No.
1 second.
Don't open up the bedroom door. What are you doing? Stop pawing through my stuff.
It is my understanding that both of these tools heat up your hair.
Yes, but this one blow dries it, and this one can straighten it and curl it. See, multifunctional.
So you don't need this one then?
No.
This one will dry.
No, you can't put that on wet hair.
I don't know, I think I got this one. All right, I can't believe it. We're here. It is number 10, and this one is all Kalyn, but I will attest that this is an RV necessity.
And that is containers.
A lot of them.
So I'm not talking just about like totes and containers that organize your basement or under through past store. We just call it the basement down there. But also containers up here because your house is moving down the road and people say like it is a literal earthquake that's happening in your home all the time. So what I do is I invest in containers. So you can see here all my spices in a container. All our drinks and multivitamins and supplements in containers, just so they don't wobble around. I even have some over here. We've got batteries, we got the rubber bands and random super glue stuff and some candles. So containers, because see, it's so much better. And I just recently bought this new little container. I think I got it from Home Goods, but because I always had stuff on my desk and then I would just shove it underneath the desk and it would just go all over the place. So now, so quick for travel day.
We even have a container for our dirty dishes. Again, travel day, container, boom, right there. Need to organize your cleaning supplies? Container.
I've got containers over here. I've got containers over here. I have containers in my refrigerator holding chocolate chips. Does anyone else put chocolate chips in their refrigerator? Maybe it's just a northern thing. I've got nuts in containers. So when anything is loose, I just go buy a container. I love the plastic ones. You can get cheap ones at the dollar store. You can get them at Target. Doesn't have to be fancy, but it really, really helps you stay organized and not so you're picking up a mess every time you set up after travel day. Our whole point in doing this video, did she almost bite you? Is to basically just share the bare bones of what you actually need. There are so many gadgets and fancy things.
You
and
can
like,
spend thousands of dollars outfitting your rig.
Yeah, and so if like getting all that stuff is preventing you from hitting the road, don't let it, because you really just need a few essentials to get started.
Now you will notice we did not talk about things like generator, and we lived without one of those for like 5 years as well. So we kind of looked at it and we're like, we're not sure that's essential.
I don't know, do you think a generator is essential or not?
Yes, let us know in the comments what we missed that you see as essential.
Yeah.
Now I do want to say, we are in the process of upgrading, and any RVer is.
Yeah.
We have a list of upgrades. Like every week somebody's in the comments, have you considered a backup camera? Or have you considered this? And the answer is yes, we want it all. We would love to upgrade the rig with a whole bunch of stuff, but like anybody, we've got budgets, we've got the upgrade list, and so we're just kind of figuring out where stuff goes. But the point of this video, like you said,
Yeah.
was what are the essentials.
So we specifically did not talk about boondocking essentials because we did a whole other video about that, and you can see that up here. So you can watch that next, where we explain our solar setup and our batteries and inverters, all the good stuff.
And spoiler alert, we did that in a small,
Very minimal too.
minimal fashion as well.
I think there's a common theme.
That's it for this week. We will see you guys next Friday.
Thanks for watching.